Trial version. Trial version.
Good afternoon, children.
Good afternoon, sir.
Trial version.
Good afternoon, everybody. We are supposed to start with the main part of MO theory.
Trial version.
LCO concept we have done. Linear combination of atomic orbitals. I have given you the statements. Little bit of diagrammatic representation
Trial
and
version.
formula we need to know. Okay. So let us do that. Supposing I take two
Trial
atomic
version.
orbitals. Two atomic orbitals of two atoms, atom A and atom A.
Trial version.
Two different atoms of A, for example, hydrogen. These two are atomic orbital, and say for sake of simplicity, I represent this as 1s.
Trial version.
This as 1s. Both are having the same energy. In the two hydrogen atoms, the two 1s orbital electrons will have
Trial version.
the same energy, and each will have one electron. Hydrogen has one electron, we know that. Supposing
Trial version.
there is one electron each. Now the principle of or theories of the
Trial version.
LCAO method, linear combination of atomic orbital forming molecular orbital. In the last class, I have given you the statements. They will form two orbitals.
Trial version.
If this is the average energy, this is the energy axis,
Trial version.
then one orbital will be formed of higher energy, and the other orbital formed will be of lower energy.
Trial version.
This is lower energy orbital.
Trial version.
So two atomic orbitals are merged together, and the identity of the atomic orbital is completely lost. They
Trial
form
version.
two new orbitals which are molecular orbitals. One is by in phase and the other one is by out of phase
Trial
overlap.
version.
In the last class we have seen it. One is in phase overlap, the other one is out of phase overlap. One is called
Trial version.
lower energy, which is in phase. It will be of lower energy. This is
Trial
called
version.
bonding molecular orbital. It is of lower energy bonding molecular
Trial
orbital.
version.
This is of higher energy. Higher energy, this is called anti-bonding.
Trial version.
Anti-bonding molecular orbital. And as I
Trial
told
version.
you that both the orbitals will be around the two nuclei. There are two atoms. Both the
Trial
nuclei
version.
will be surrounded by the electron cloud of these two orbital, bonding and anti-bonding. This is formed by in phase.
Trial version.
In phase overlap. Whereas this is out of phase
Trial version.
overlap. All these things we have done in the last class.
Trial version.
In phase overlap bonding, out of phase overlap anti-bonding, and the bonding orbital is enhanced. The electron
Trial
cloud
version.
in between the two nuclei, anti-bonding orbital, the in between the two nuclei there will be no electron cloud. I have shown you with the overlap of the p orbital in the last class.
Trial version.
Just go through that, you will be able to understand. Here I am taking overlap of s orbital. I am giving you what will be the shape of bonding and anti-bonding s orbital. For bonding
Trial
orbital,
version.
say 2s orbital of 2 hydrogen atoms. This is 1s, this is 1s of hydrogen, and both
Trial version.
are in plus phase or both in minus phase. Then the two nuclei will be surrounded.
Trial version.
The two nuclei will be surrounded by the electron cloud like this.
Trial version.
This is bonding interaction. Bonding overlap
Trial
in
version.
phase. Whereas if one is 1s negative, the other one is 1s positive,
Trial version.
then it will be antibonding overlap and the two nuclei will be at the two ends and you will have the orbital
Trial version.
electron cloud like this. The orbital electron cloud will not
Trial
be having
version.
at the middle. It will be away from each other, the lobes will be outside. But both of them are surrounding the nucleus. Antibonding
version.
does not mean the orbital is not there. Orbital is very much there. It is not a 1s of anyone. It is individually not 1s. It is the average of
Trial
two
version.
1s orbital, one in it will
Trial
give
version.
rise to molecular
Trial version.
right? So that is what is all these diagrams are there in your book. I don't
Trial
want to
version.
waste time. Now, how will it appear when SS overlap is there? How is it there? Is it like when PP overlap direct is there? When
Trial
PP
version.
overlap lateral is there, pi bonding, all are there. Okay, in phase, out of phase. Both cases there will be in phase and out of phase. Two orbitals. PX
Trial
PX
version.
overlapping will give two atomic orbitals, molecular orbitals. PY PY overlapping will give two molecular orbitals. PZ PZ overlapping will give two molecular orbitals.
Trial
And
version.
because P can overlap lateral wise also, there will be the concept of sigma molecular orbital as well as pi molecular orbital. When it is lateral overlap,
Trial version.
we will call them as pi molecular orbital. I'll show you one. After this, I will show you one pi molecular orbital overlap of p orbitals.
Trial
But right
version.
at this moment, what I wanted to mean is that two atomic orbitals, 1s will overlap, forming two molecular orbital
Trial
of
version.
different energy. And we represent like this. In the diagram, we represent
Trial
like
version.
this. This is the antibonding one, and this is the bonding one.
Trial version.
Two orbitals will be formed. One is bonding, the
Trial
other one
version.
is antibonding. So this is the very first thing we have to know. Any two atomic orbital overlapping with one another forming molecular orbital,
Trial
they will
version.
form two molecular orbital. One is of little higher energy in the antibonding condition. The other will be of lower energy than the average. Lower energy one is called bonding interaction or
version.
bonding molecular orbital. Okay, because it says number of atomic orbitals overlapping will be equal to
Trial
number of
version.
molecular orbitals formed. Now,
Trial version.
now if I call the wave function, every atomic orbital has a wave function. I have already
Trial
shown
version.
you. Say this is psi A and this is psi B. The wave function that amplitudes that describes the amplitude of the wave, that describes the amplitude of the electron wave. Okay, so I represent them
Trial
as
version.
psi A and psi B separately for the atomic orbitals. Individual atomic orbital wave functions are psi A plus psi B. Then
Trial
for
version.
psi bonding, we write psi for bonding MO.
Trial version.
Will be psi A plus psi B taken together.
Trial version.
And psi anti-bonding
Trial version.
anti-bonding MO will be equal to psi A minus psi B.
Trial version.
That is what is anti-bonding molecular orbital wave function.
Trial version.
Okay, we simply write this as psi B. It's written
Trial
simply
version.
as psi bonding is equal to psi A plus psi B, and psi anti-bonding is equal to psi
Trial
A
version.
minus psi B. Difference. So we described the wave function
Trial
of the
version.
two MOs formed. Lower energy MO and higher energy MO wave functions are also obtained in terms of the wave function
Trial
of the
version.
atomic orbitals. So this is the most important part of understanding how
Trial
we
version.
go to the concept of molecular orbitals, their probability of finding the electrons of the molecular orbitals, how many molecular orbitals will be formed, how we
Trial
explain
version.
the wave function. All these are important, and this is like this, right? Now we know
Trial
that
version.
psi gives the wave function, but psi square gives the probability of finding the electron atomic structure. Psi square, wave function square, gives
Trial version.
the probability of finding the electron. And that is more applicable because psi square value will always be positive.
Trial version.
Psi A may be negative, may be positive at some values. Value of psi A or separately psi B may be positive, may be
Trial
negative.
version.
But when I make psi square, whether it is negative or positive, it will always be positive. And that is why we say psi square gives
Trial
the
version.
probability of finding the electron. I'll grab this part now.
Trial version.
So now is probability
Trial version.
of finding the electrons in the
Trial
MOs,
version.
molecular orbitals. What is that? Probability means psi bonding
Trial
square.
version.
It is bonding interaction will be psi A plus psi B whole square,
Trial version.
which is equal to psi square A individual probability psi square B
Trial version.
plus 2 psi A
Trial
psi
version.
B, which means that for the bonding MO, the probability is increased
Trial
by
version.
twice the probability, twice the wave function of the individual atomic orbitals. Probability psi square A
Trial
means
version.
probability of atomic orbital A, psi square B means probability of atomic orbital B, atom B rather, of the atom B,
Trial version.
and that will be increased by 2 times psi A into psi B. অর্থাৎ যখন আমরা রাফলি একটা ডায়াগ্রাম দেব,
Trial version.
ওয়েভ ফাংশনটা এরকম ভাবে দেখানো হবে। Corresponding wave function. This is a nucleus. This is another nucleus. So
Trial
wave
version.
function will have a shape like this. This is psi square A.
Trial version.
The psi square B, bonding. Probability of finding the electron
Trial
will
version.
be there in between the two nuclei also. It will be there about the two nuclei. That's why there are two peaks.
Trial version.
But in between the nuclei also there is fair electron density. The shape of the electron cloud is shown by this.
Trial version.
There will be a large amount of electron cloud in between the two nuclei. অর্থাৎ হোল ইলেকট্রন ক্লাউডটা দুটো নিউক্লিয়াসের মাঝখানে এবং চারদিকে একটা বেশ ভালো রকম সারাউন্ডিং তৈরি করবে, একটা বেলুনের মতো। সেই জন্য বন্ডিংটা আমরা ডায়াগ্রামটা এরকম ভাবে এঁকেছিলাম।
Trial version.
On the other hand, when I say psi
Trial version.
antibonding square, you can write this as psi square A plus psi square B
Trial
minus
version.
2 psi A into psi B. এবং এর রিপ্রেজেন্টেশনটা হচ্ছে এরকম ধারা, খুব অদ্ভুত একটা
Trial
রিপ্রেজেন্টেশন। If this is one nucleus, this is another nucleus, then the electron cloud will be somewhat like this.
Trial version.
In between the two nuclei, the electron cloud is cutting the axis, which means
Trial
there is no
version.
electron density at that point. There will be a nodal plane. So that is what is antibonding orbital electron cloud in terms of psi
Trial
A psi B
version.
square. One is called bonding interaction, the other one is called antibonding interaction.
Trial
Bonding
version.
interaction is stable, antibonding interaction is unstable. But these are all sigma.
Trial version.
I have shown whatever diagram I have shown with the p orbital or s orbital. These are all sigma bonding interaction. Now I will show you one pi bonding
Trial
interaction
version.
when p lobes overlap laterally. Pi bonds are formed. We have seen already when we did hybridization.
Trial version.
So let us do that.
Trial version.
Heading is PP lateral
Trial version.
overlap forming bonding and
Trial version.
antibonding MOs.
Trial version.
So we take one nucleus
Trial version.
plus another nucleus of the second atom. One p orbital there,
Trial version.
another p orbital here.
Trial version.
And say I consider in phase overlap, lateral overlap, plus plus minus minus.
Trial
In
version.
phase lateral overlap.
Trial version.
So the electron cloud, molecular electron cloud will be this.
Trial version.
Two nuclei there will be a continuous electron cloud like this. Another
Trial version.
continuous minus. So this
Trial
is
version.
bonding, pi bonding, MO.
Trial version.
In phase overlap, pi bonding, MO. Please copy it, I'll rub the board.
Trial version. Trial version. Trial version. Trial version. Trial version. Trial version.
Whereas যখন আমরা
Trial
অ্যান্টি
version.
বন্ডিং ইন্টারঅ্যাকশন নেব, when it is anti-bonding
Trial version.
interaction,
Trial version.
so plus minus, minus plus. The opposite lobes will be approaching one another
Trial
and
version.
resulting MO will be, say this is one nucleus, this is one
Trial
nucleus.
version.
The resulting MO will be like this. One is here, the other one is here. The electron cloud
Trial
will
version.
be like this. Okay, plus minus, minus plus.
Trial version.
This is anti-bonding. Pi
Trial
bond,
version.
pi MO.
Trial version. Trial version. Trial version. Trial version. Trial version. Trial version.
এরকম তোর এসএস ওভারল্যাপ, পিপি ওভারল্যাপ তোদেরকে মোটামুটি একটু জানতে হতে পারে।
Trial
এই
version.
আইডিয়াটা থাকার দরকার আছে যে ল্যাটারাল ওভারল্যাপ পি অরবিটাল কেমন করে হয়, ফ্রন্ট টু ফ্রন্ট সিগমা ওভারল্যাপ কি করে হয়, এস অরবিটাল তো দেখিয়ে
Trial
দিলাম
version.
অলরেডি, আর তো আমাদের কিছু নেই, এই কটাই দেখবি বইতে দেয়া আছে, রাইট? বন্ডিং আর অ্যান্টি বন্ডিং ইন্টারঅ্যাকশন। এইবার
Trial
যখন
version.
আমরা এনার্জেটিক্যালি রিপ্রেজেন্ট করব, দুটো টাইপের এনার্জি ডায়াগ্রাম আছে।
Trial version.
Of energy of the MOs and this is everything.
Trial version. Trial version. Trial version.
The first thing we do
Trial
is we draw
version.
this line and we write E. If you draw the diagram with this, without this line, everything correct, you will get 0.
Trial version.
So first thing you will do is you will draw the line showing the energy axis.
Trial
And
version.
then we take
Trial
somewhere
version.
at the middle a column like this. Okay? And then
Trial
suppose
version.
I write here 1s, the same energy level
Trial
at the
version.
same distance I write 1s. Of any atom, it may be hydrogen, boron, nitrogen, fluorine,
Trial
it may be
version.
any atom. But first is 1s. Atomic orbital wise, that is the lowest energy orbital, we know that. So we draw that.
Trial
And then
version.
we draw one orbital here, little above, one orbital below this.
Trial version.
And then we connect by dotted lines.
Trial version. Trial version. Trial version.
Like this. So this is bonding.
Trial version.
I write sigma B.
Trial
I don't know if
version.
it is visible. I have written sigma B. It is direct
Trial version.
overlap between hydrogen 1s 1s forming sigma molecular orbital bonding. And obviously
Trial
the other
version.
one will be sigma molecular orbital anti-bonding.
Trial version.
This is sigma star.
Trial version.
Sigma star bond anti-bonding.
Trial version.
Sigma star, you may
Trial
not
version.
write AB. So simply write this. Lower means it is bonding, it is understood. So one is sigma,
Trial
which is
version.
below, that is bonding. And sigma star, star always means anti-bonding. So you need not mention separately. But here I write 1s.
Trial version.
And here also I write 1s. Or you write afterwards, better. Here you write
Trial
1s.
version.
Here also you write 1s.
Trial version.
So these two molecular orbitals are described as sigma 1s and sigma star 1s.
Trial version.
Then the second case, when 2s will overlap,
Trial
I write
version.
here 2s. Here also I write 2s of the other
Trial
atom.
version.
And then more or less at the same level, here I write 1, here I write 1.
Trial version.
and then join by dotted lines.
Trial version. Trial version.
So this is what is again, we get sigma
version.
2s, and here I get sigma star 2s.
Trial version.
One bonding and one anti-bonding. And then after that will be 2p.
Trial version.
So 2p will be having 3 orbitals.
Trial version.
2p, xyz for example. And here also I write 2p, the other
Trial
atom,
version.
another atom. XYZ.
Trial
And
version.
here there are 2 possibilities of the atomic orbitals. Okay.
Trial version.
First we draw and then I will tell you what are the 2 possibilities. Possibility is with atomic number less
version.
than 7 or equal to 7. With atomic number less than 7,
Trial
J
version.
is less than equal to 7. That is up to nitrogen atom or nitrogen molecule.
Trial
What
version.
will be? There will be 2 orbitals here formed.
Trial version.
Like this. We call it
Trial version.
pi 2px, pi 2py.
Trial version.
These two will be bilateral overlap, pi 2px and pi 2py.
Trial version.
And one will be of little lower energy but sigma.
Trial version.
This is sigma 2pz.
Trial version.
Totally 6 orbitals will be formed. 3
Trial version.
below the average energy. This is the average energy. 3 will be below the average energy. These are all
Trial
bonding
version.
orbital. 2 pi orbital will be of lowest energy so far as p
Trial
overlap
version.
is concerned. And 2 of them will be degenerate. Pi 2px and pi 2py will have same
Trial
energy.
version.
They are molecular orbital bonding. Sigma 2pz, it will be direct overlap because once one direct overlap takes
Trial
place,
version.
other two cannot overlap directly for the p orbital. They must undergo lateral overlap. Direct overlap p orbital, only one orbital can overlap.
Trial
The very
version.
shape of the p orbital demands that. So 2pz টা direct overlap করবে, sigma bond তৈরি করবে, এটা
Trial
bonding.
version.
Sigma 2pz, but that will be of higher energy than the pi orbitals. All 3 are below the average energy,
Trial
so
version.
all 3 are bonding. On the other hand, here will be 2 more
Trial version.
orbitals. It is pi star 2px.
Trial version.
Pi star py.
Trial version.
It is above the average energy. of the atomic orbital. So they are anti-bonding. That's why I'm writing
Trial
star.
version.
Star is always for the anti-bonding orbitals. And there will be one more
Trial
overlap,
version.
sigma direct overlap. That is
Trial version.
sigma star. Sigma star
Trial version.
2pz. এটা হচ্ছে আপ টু
Trial version.
নাইট্রোজেন অ্যাটম অর্থাৎ আপ টু অ্যাটমিক নাম্বার 7 সমস্ত এলিমেন্টের এমও ডায়াগ্রামটা
Trial version.
will have this appearance. 1s 2s এর মধ্যে কোনো এলিমেন্টের মধ্যে কোনো তফাৎ থাকবে না, whether
Trial
z is
version.
above 7 or below 7. p অরবিটালটা ডিফার করে যাবে up to atomic. This is
Trial version.
the energy layout of the bonding and anti-bonding orbitals sigma and pi both.
Trial version.
এটা মুখস্থ রাখতে হবে, একে একে প্র্যাকটিস করলেই মুখস্থ হয়ে যাবে।
Trial version.
এটা পিটাকে আমি 21 21 বলে মনে রাখি, 2121
Trial version.
2 1 2
Trial version.
1 অর্থাৎ দুটো পাই একটা সিগমা, দুটো পাই স্টার একটা সিগমা স্টার। 21 21
Trial version.
এই ওরিয়েন্টেশনে যাবে। This is just a memory aid. You can take your own way. But for me, I
Trial
try to
version.
remember in this way. প্রথমে দুটো পাই অরবিটাল, তারপর একটা সিগমা অরবিটাল, সেই জন্য আই এম রাইটিং 2 1, তারপরে আবার দুটো
Trial
পাই
version.
অরবিটাল এবং একটা সিগমা অরবিটাল আপ টু অ্যাটমিক নাম্বার লেস দ্যান ইকুয়াল টু 7।
Trial version.
রাইট? তাহলে এনার্জি ওয়াইজ যদি আমরা লিখতে চাই, হোয়াট ইজ দ্য এনার্জি অর্ডার,
Trial
যেটা
version.
আমার হেডিং ছিল, এনার্জি অর্ডার অফ দ্য molecular orbitals. We
Trial
write like
version.
this. We write like this. I'm showing it here. Sigma 1s
Trial version.
less than sigma star 1s less than sigma 2s less
Trial
than
version.
sigma star 2s less than, we write 2p,
Trial version.
sorry, pi 2p pi 2px
Trial version.
pi 2py. They are of same energy. This is less than
Trial
sigma
version.
2pz, which in its turn is less than pi star
Trial version.
2px pi star 2py, which is less
Trial
than
version.
sigma star 2pz.
Trial version.
That is how we write the electron energy order of the
Trial version.
MO of the elements, molecular orbital of the
Trial
elements
version.
where atomic number is less than 7 or equal to 7. So that is the molecular orbital
Trial
condition.
version.
লিখে নে তাড়াতাড়ি।
Trial version. 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 Trial version.
Okay, I hope it is complete.
Trial
Please tell
version.
me as you complete.
Trial version. Trial version. Trial version. Trial version. Trial version. Trial version. Trial version.
তমগ্ন জয়েন করেছিস?
Yes, sir.
And then Kusaj?
Trial version.
Kusaj is not there.